Welcome. Welcome to the Frankel Jewish Academy's 2022 commencements. Before we begin, we ask that you please silence your cell phone. Now, please rise as we introduce the graduating class of 2022.
Please remain standing as we present the staff and faculty of Frankel Jewish Academy. As students at FJA, we are thankful for the time and the overt effort they put in to create a bonded and strong community. The staff and faculty have created a home away from home, something rare, and a privilege that is looked at with awe and gratitude among students. They have taught us life skills that will help us continue to learn and grow in life. Lives rooted in the kindness and dedication of the staff and faculty. This impact is something that makes us proud to be a continuation of the FJA community.
Frankel teachers are always there, above and beyond for their students. The relationship we have with our teachers is something you can't find elsewhere. Each day, the teachers and staff continue to amaze us with their passionate sincerity for our education, a value appreciated in hindsight. 4 years of time has created inseparable bonds and an invariable, close-knit family of support. It is with this love and gratitude that Leah and I are proud to introduce our beloved Frankel teachers for their student tributes.
Welcome, everybody. Please remain standing for the national anthems played by Amy Save and her fabulous orchestra. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to call up Bob Canvasser, Board President, to deliver his remarks.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Save, Mr. Reed, and the rest of the instrumental pit musicians who are right behind the curtain to my right, and thank you, Rabbi Cohn. Good evening. I'm Bob Canvasser, and I'm honored to be the president of the Board of Trustees. I'm also honored to have been a parent at this event, watching proudly as our son Ben graduated with the class of 2015. Thank you, Bozmat. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome all of you, parents and grandparents, siblings, friends, and future FJA students, and of course, the class of 2022. Tonight, as we honor our graduates, I want to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to our teachers, our staff and administrators, our head of school, Azaria Cohn, and the members of the Board of Trustees. I'd also like to offer my thanks and gratitude to the parents for choosing FJA, for supporting us and trusting us with your children, and for making the commitment to provide your child a Jewish day school education. Most importantly, I'd like to welcome you, the distinguished members of our class of 2022. The path you have taken to graduation is anything but normal. In March of 2020, you left school on a Friday afternoon, and you never came back, finishing your sophomore year remotely. Your junior year was in person, socially distanced and masked, with classmates and teachers often joining on Zoom, and the threat of COVID still limiting in-person events and interactions. This year brought us closer to normal, being together for lunch and events and activities and athletics, and finally, a return to Israel after a 2-year absence. And that trip, as you all know, was also far from normal. Flight cancellations and a delayed departure for you. COVID-positive tests and quarantine, leaving classmates behind and returning over multiple days on multiple flights was frustrating for you and stressful for your parents. Where we contributed to that stress in planning, execution, or communication, we ask for your forgiveness, and we pledge to be introspective, to understand the challenges you and your parents faced, and learn what we can do better in the future. Learning today is about more than just memorizing facts and figures, tables and formulas. It's about big ideas and actions, about communication and collaboration, about recognizing problems and creating solutions. It's about self-confidence and knowing and believing in yourself, and it's about resiliency, knowing what to do and how to respond when things, like the Israel trip, don't go as planned. You, graduates, have proved yourself resilient almost every day since Friday, March 13th, 2020, and especially over these past few weeks traveling. Your resilience and the core values of FJA are what you, members of the class of 2022, take with you to college or your gap year, and I have no doubt you'll be successful. I'm also happy to be the first one to tell you that you're now part of an exclusive club. You are FJA alumni, and we're honored to have you represent us, our school, and our community. So on behalf of the board, to all of you, the members of our graduating class, your parents, grandparents, siblings, and honored guests, I offer a Yasher Koach and best wishes on your graduation from the Franco-Jewish Academy.
Thank you, Bob. Tradition and change are fundamental parts of the learning process. Whether in the classroom, the science lab, art studio, or the soccer pitch, through guidance and coaching, students experiment and explore. They identify what they know, what they don't know, and they integrate what they learn into their growing skill set and foundation of knowledge and understanding. The same is true for Judaism and our tradition. Change is part of our heritage as well. Our tradition and customs are dear to us, but when we've had to face change as a people, we embrace the change by seeking to find ways to continue our traditions in new settings and conditions. This occurred when God urged Abraham to leave his birth home and changed his and Sarah's names. It occurred with the destruction of our temples, and it was a challenge we as Jews faced throughout our history as we experienced persecution and exile. We are no stranger to change. And as Bob Canvasser mentioned, over the past 2.5 years, our teachers and staff have faced the greatest changes they have had to endure, perhaps, in their lifetimes. They met the changes with grace and resolve, demonstrating that the creativity and dedication they employ on a regular basis is an essential element of their practice. And as Bob mentioned, the same is true for our students. You, our students, particularly our class of 2022, have had to recalibrate your expectations for what school is academically and programmatically. And even, as Bob mentioned, as recently as the last several weeks, our students and staff worked admirably through challenges, making the best out of unexpected difficulties, while chaperones and staff worked tirelessly to make sure our students' needs were met. And let's face it, what student wants to spend time, extended time in Israel with their head of school locked up in a house? So, there is no escaping it, and this is the fact. Change is a fundamental part of life. It is essential for learning, growth, and advancement, but the fact is change is hard. It requires us to move ourselves and our mindsets from the comfort of what we know and what we are used to the unfamiliar, the strange, and even sometimes the frightening. With change, we go from a place of security and comfort to being unsure and insecure, and it doesn't make a difference how old you are. Change is difficult, unsettling. But what would it look like if we could embrace change? How could we throw ourselves into change we encounter and become immersed in the change process? Is there a way to appreciate change and the potential rewards waiting for us on the other side? All change is hard, even when it is clearly for the good. A move to a larger house or a different neighborhood, starting a new family or a new career. All of these are wonderful. Graduating high school and going to college and university. But they require adjustments which can, at least temporarily, be unsettling and uncomfortable. Taking it a step further, is it possible for things that, at least on the surface, which seem to be a disaster, like failing a class, a personal or professional rejection, a business deal falling through, is it possible for those to be seen as positive as well? Can attitude and perspective, like so much in life, determine how we navigate through the change process? There is an old Yiddish saying, I'm sure many of you have heard, Man tracht und Gott lacht. Man plans and God laughs. Underlying this is the idea that despite our best intentions, or despite our intentions which we perceive are best, God ultimately has a plan for each of us. Our forefather Jacob left his father-in-law's house with the family that would later become the 12 tribes. He was successful professionally. He amassed possessions that invited envy. All of this, despite the best efforts of his father-in-law to manipulate Jacob's wages and withhold Rachel, the bride he loved. His son Joseph was cast into a pit by his brothers. Soon thereafter, he was sold as a slave, only to become master of his owner's household. And after false accusations of impropriety, he found himself in prison, only to be released, eventually surpassing his previous good fortune to become the viceroy overseeing Egyptian agriculture and commerce. When our plans come to fruition, when we feel empowered, when we feel successful and fulfilled, then we're happy, we're thrilled. We feel like we own the world. But when they don't come to fruition, perhaps there is another plan at play, one we cannot yet see or appreciate. Sometimes doors have to close for others to open. An option withdrawn may in fact lead to an unanticipated opportunity. And that's exactly what Joseph told his brothers. I wouldn't dream of retribution for throwing me in the pit and selling me as a slave. This, Joseph told his brothers, is all of God's plan. So, class of 2022, if you haven't listened up to this point, pay attention. I know that you will find success. It just may not always happen in as straight a line as you anticipate. In Israel, we heard from Tamir Goodman, an extremely talented college basketball star with a promising career ahead of him. He described the roller coaster that took him from scholarship and stardom to giving it all up to adhere to his faith. He now lives in Israel. He's an entrepreneur with a beautiful and loving family, and he credits each step of his journey, a life full of blessing and success despite challenges, to God's grace. Telling ourselves that God has a plan, we just don't see it, expresses the realization that despite our best efforts, God runs the world. We exert our will and desire to the degree that we can, but despite our wishful thinking, our control is limited to a narrow sphere of influence. And, class of 2022, perhaps the most important object of influence is ourselves. Shimon Peres, former prime minister and president of Israel, famously said, this is one of my favorite lines, pessimists and optimists die the same way, but live very different lives. Nadav Tamir, a former Israeli diplomat and advisor to President Shimon Peres, quoted Peres as saying that to be an optimist is to live a more constructive, healthy, and fun life. He reported that Peres came to work every day full of energy, and his optimism alone could make things happen. I learned from him, Tamir said, that optimism is not just a way to perceive the world, but a way to impact the world. So graduates, within your narrow spheres of influence, a positive attitude not only changes how you see things, but it can be the catalyst of greater change around you. In northern Israel, in a quaint Druze village, we were treated to a delightful meal and a talk from one of the local Druze village members. He described principles of the Druze religion and shared one particular principle through an anecdote. He asked the group, what is a chacham? Hebrew word. What is a chacham? And I'm sure you know at this point in your careers, a chacham is a wise person. And he shook his head. And he said, a chacham, which is spelled, I won't test you, it is spelled chet, chaf, mem, chacham, he said, is someone who sees the world as chatzi, kos, malay, chet, kaf, mem, chatzi, kos, milea, a cup half filled. To be wise is to see the world as an optimist, and Shimon Peres would almost certainly agree with our Druze friend that wisdom is expressed by appreciating what there is rather than what is not. So FJA class of 2022, your attention once more for the final time as I deliver my address. You've each had a remarkable and sometimes challenging high school experience. As you look ahead to futures that I know will be bright, remember, through faith and optimism, not only will you be able to cope with change and challenge, but you will be poised to bring out what is exceptional in yourselves and the very best in everyone around you. Now, speaking of the very best of our graduates, please direct your attention to our senior video.
If you're happy doing what you love, nobody can tell you you're not successful. Harry Styles.
Life is beautiful. Cherish every moment, even if you're stressed or hurt or whatnot. There's always tomorrow and it always gets better. Ariana Grande.
Time's arrow neither stands still nor reverses. It merely marches forward.
Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Dr. Seuss.
Slow down and enjoy the moment.
The thing about new beginnings is that they require something else to end. Blair Waldorf.
Borders are never natural. Without them, we are closer to freedom.
We're almost there and nowhere near it. All that matters is that we're going. Lorelai Gilmore.
Finishing races is important, but racing is more important. Dale Earnhardt.
Art isn't about getting it right the first time. It's about noticing your mistakes and knowing how to overcome them.
Believe in yourself and your feelings. Trust yourself to do what your heart is guiding you to do. Your intuition is powerful.
No, you're not perfect, but you're not your mistakes. Kanye West.
I refuse to accept other people's ideas of happiness for me, as if there's a one-size-fits-all standard for happiness. Kanye West.
The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win. By Kobe Bryant.
If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am not for others, what am I? And if not now, when?
Whatever makes your soul happy, do that.
For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. And for poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone. Audrey Hepburn.
Even the scars that were formed from my mistakes are my very own constellations.
No matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you've come from, you can always become a better version of yourself. Madonna.
Do not live with regret. Everything happens for a reason.
Don't waste this stage of your life rushing to the next.
Great moments are born from great opportunities. Herb Brooks.
I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky.
I didn't come this far to only come this far, so we've still got further to go. Tom Brady.
The advice I'd give to someone is to not take anyone's advice. Eddie Murphy.
It's funny how day by day, nothing changes, but when you look back, everything's different.
The truth of the matter is that you always know the right thing to do. The hard part is doing it. General Norman Schwarzkopf.
There is no success without failure, and no winning without losing. Pitbull.
Walking up the stairs to FJA every morning, we knew that Pat would be there with her welcoming smile. 4 years ago, as we climbed the stairs for the first time as FJA students, Pat saw us enter as timid ninth graders, and now, as we leave high school, she sees us, the FJA class of 2022, confident and prepared for our next chapter. As a witness to our entire journey, how will Pat remember the class of 2022? We were fortunate to have a community of educators that fostered a rigorous yet nurturing high school experience, one that challenged our critical thinking and deepened our love for our Jewish heritage. As I look back, we have accomplished so much, but this is just the beginning. FJA has given us the confidence to advocate for ourselves and has reinforced our ability to learn and grow even when the circumstances were unexpected. I hope Pat and the FJA faculty, staff, and community see us as resilient, thoughtful, and prepared to follow our dreams and goals. I hope that they will look back and be proud that the class of 2022 persevered and succeeded during a time when challenges were at every corner and that we exemplified the mission of FJA. Congratulations, FJA class of 2022.
You will find the English translation of my Hebrew remarks on page 5 in your program. אני מרגיש כאילו היום הראשון של בית ספר תיכון היה אתמול. כשעליתי במדרגות בפעם הראשונה, פחדתי ללמוד בבית ספר חדש, אבל ידעתי שזאת תהיה הזדמנות נהדרת ללמוד עם אנשים מיוצנים וללמוד ממורים הכי טובים. עכשיו אני מסיים את בית ספר תיכון והתחיל ללמוד באוניברסיטה בעוד כמה חודשים. אני רוצה לדבר על הדברים שאתגעגע עליהם. פרנקל מיוחד כי יש לכולם את האפשרות להכיר את החברים והמורים יותר טוב מבית ספר ציבורי. אני רוצה לומר תודה לכל המורים, כי בגללם אנחנו יכולים להצליח בכל דבר שנעשה אחרי פרנקל. בחודשים הבאים, כולם יהיו בהרבה מקומות שונים בעולם, אבל הקשרים שקשרנו בפרנקל יהיו חזקים לתמיד. אני עצוב מאוד שאבא שלי לא יכול להיות פה כשאני מסיים את בית ספר תיכון. זה הזמן הכי חשוב בחיים שלי עד עכשיו, ולו הוא היה פה היום, אני יודע שהוא היה גאה מאוד. אני יודע שהוא שומר עליי מלמעלה, ולחלק מאיתנו היושבים פה חסר היום מישהו שמתגעגעים עליו או עליה. חשוב לזכור שהם שומרים עליכם ושמחים איתכם מלמעלה. לא תמיד צריכים להיות עם מישהו כדי להרגיש קשר איתם. אני רוצה לומר מזל טוב לכיתה שלנו. אנחנו עבדנו הרבה מאוד כדי להיות פה היום, ואני מחכה לראות את כל מה שנעשה בעתיד.
Skylar and Andy, that was beautiful, and I'd like to ask Nora Skolnick, Senior Class President, to come up and deliver your class gift. Right or left?
As Senior Class President, it is my honor to present the Class of 2022's gift. Our gift is a new FJA sign that will be installed in the stairwell leading up to the school. This sign will be covered in photos of current students. Thank you so much to Frankel for providing an incredible 4 years for the Class of 2022. We will miss you greatly.
Nora and Class of 2022, how appropriate a gift, because both Andy and Skylar mentioned the entryway when you first walk in, and that'll be the first thing that new students see. It'll be the last thing that graduates will see, but I do hope that you'll come back and visit to see your gift to FJA. Thank you.
We have now arrived at the heart of the program, when the class of 2022 will receive their diplomas. We have a special tradition at FJA that separates our commencement from other high schools and highlights the bond that teachers and students develop during a student's time at FJA. Instead of simply calling a student's name, each graduate will be given a personalized tribute written by a faculty member that the student has identified as being a special part of their FJA experience. These tributes give our faculty a moment to share our graduates' impact on the school as the class of 2022 move on to begin the next chapter of their journey.
Rebecca Chenoweth. Rebecca. Initially, you struck me as a quiet young woman, but as I got to know you, I discovered that you possess a strong voice with something to say about the world and the way that you believe it should be. Your passion for justice, your ability to speak and write persuasively, and your analytical mind have all been a joy to witness. I know you will use your voice to shape the future, and I can't wait to see what it holds. Congratulations.
Shayla Mostyn. For the past 4 years, each school day began with a good morning from Shayla, every morning, and a passionate discussion of what was on her mind. Recently, as her 18th birthday was approaching, I found it amusing that her many reminders of her big day hinted that it would be really nice to receive a card or a gift. I was fortunate to have received one of the Need More Shayla in my life signs, which will forever hang in my classroom. If you don't know what the Shayla wall is, she will be happy to tell you. Congratulations, Shayla. I will truly miss you. I love you, buddy.
Adriana Azaria. I loved watching you grow over the past 4 years. You are a kind and generous person. I enjoyed teaching you as a freshman and as a junior, and was impressed by your ability and responsibility. You were always the first one to submit every assignment, and it was always perfect. I enjoyed our friendship and will miss your daily dramatic stops to my class to share anecdotes from your day. I know you're ready for the next chapter and that you will achieve great things. Mazal tov.
Maya Goldberg. Maya, you are a hardworking, thoughtful, and intelligent person. In the past few years, you have excelled in many art mediums, from digital art, ceramics, drawing, painting, and printmaking, showing how you observe details in the world around you. You create quality work that is truly impressive. Your peers respect you for how you create with intention and focus. I wish you all the best, Maya. There's no doubt that you will be successful in your future endeavors.
It is my pleasure to present Lindsay Randall. So surprised. Lindsay with a I might add. Spell your name wrong all the time, don't I? Lindsay is always putting others before herself. Lindsay, your attitude of service is obvious in your activities and your relationships. Albert Einstein said, "Only life lived in service to others is life worth living." This sums up Lindsay and her daily interactions. I can't wait to see how you turn this life mission into a clear action plan while at Michigan and throughout your future. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Perfect. I am glad to present Kira Sorokin. Kira is a very focused and determined young lady, but she is always nurturing and caring of others. These are the attributes that I admire the most. I recently read a quote that said, "One person caring about another represents life's greatest values." This sums up Kira to me. She genuinely cares for others around her, and she makes every effort to see that others are taken care of. It is my hope that she will continue this approach in life in this manner at MSU and in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And next, I would like to present Nora Skolnick. Nora is a very determined young lady who strives to always make others feel good and confident in and about themselves. I've always appreciated our discussions about what makes a good captain, and of course, her attempts to secure the position long before the season even started. I would anticipate that Nora's going to have these same discussions with Coach Izzo and Coach Tucker while at MSU. Congratulations, Nora. No juggling like your sister. I won't make you do it.
Natalie Sharon. Nat, I am constantly astounded by your ability to see things that others do not. As a non-art creator, I know I see the world for what it is, but you see so much more beyond that. You see nuances and shades within hues that the rest of us just miss. The details you bring to light always manage to stop me in my tracks. My hope for you is that you keep that unique perspective that you have. The world needs to see itself through your eyes. Definitely not Skylar Elbinger. Skylar, what am I going to do without you? We began this journey together at FJA, and now I cannot imagine my life without you. You've grown. Sorry. Stop crying. You've grown so much from that unsure freshman to being the leader that you are today, someone our school leans on, as well as BBYO president. While we have no idea what the future may bring, I know the future is in great hands with you. I am so proud to have been a witness of this little segment. Congratulations. I'm going to miss you. Tissue. Shayna Foreman. Shayna, you inspire me. Youngest in your class, you make no excuses or apologies for your thoughts, opinions, or ideas. As we worked through some of your college essays, I was absolutely in awe of some of your ambitions and goals. You've always been the one not just to have the immediate answers, but also to thoughtfully consider all of the options and come up with something amazing and surprising. I can't wait to see what that does for you in the future. what puzzles you'll solve, and what breakthroughs you're going to make.
Thank you. Leah Phillips. I have an extra tissue just in case. Leah, as you move on to your next chapter, I'd like to leave you with a picture of what we all see when we look at you. A beautiful human, inside and out, with astonishing intelligence and kindness and grace that just radiate from you. You make everyone want to be better, act better, do better. As you move on to the University of Michigan, rocking, I'm sure, every single science class offered, I hope you carry that picture with you, knowing exactly how valuable you are and how very capable you are of anything, literally anything.
Ashley Adelson. Ashley, there are times where I envy your work ethic. No matter how you did on a test or anything else, I always knew that you had pushed yourself to really earn that grade. And over 2 years of less than ideal circumstances, you always impressed me with your desire to learn, even if the math itself was not always your favorite. I have no doubt that you'll continue to do great things as you move on to college and go green. Congratulations. Adam State. Adam, you exemplify the words quiet confidence. For 3 years in 4 classes, I could always count on you to be a rock, doing what needed to be done, and being a supportive and classmate and friend to everybody. You'll go far throughout college and life with those traits alone. I'm gonna really miss you when you stop by to chat about hockey, and so you gotta promise me to come back and talk once the Wings are good again. Congratulations. All right. Andy Tuckle. Oh, don't look surprised. Andy, I'm always gonna remember the first day that you came to cross-country practice. You were just a quiet kid tagging behind his older brothers. And seeing over the past 4 years, you grow from that kid into the young man who became the all-school president has really been a delight. Your curiosity has always been phenomenal, from trying to drive literally everybody's car in the parking lot to searching property records when I joked around that you couldn't find my address. I'm really gonna be grateful to hear where your journey will take you next. Congratulations.
Charlie LaBelle. Take your time. How you doing? Good, how are you? You are a true Renaissance man. From music and literature to math and science, your interests and talents are vast. Continue to foster these after you leave FJA. You never know when a mathematical inspiration might come from a chord progression, or when a piece of literature might spark an engineering solution. Thank you for bringing Frankel your quiet wit, your academic prowess, and your amiable personality. We look forward to what you bring the rest of the world. Congrats, Charlie. Thank you, man. Congrats. Lindsay Schlussel. Thank you for finally coming. Okay. You walked into class reading Joan Didion, and I knew you'd be a great addition. And as the year progressed, you didn't disappoint. Your dedication to literature showed itself every class as we explored complex issues with your peers. And aside from being incredibly well-read, you have a strong sense of morality and fortitude to stand up for good. Continue to stand for your beliefs. Continue to read. Please share your book list with me. Congratulations. Dahlia Zwas. been almost an hour, so it's not time for a lap yet. Okay. You've never been quick to warm up to other people, and this was challenging at first. But once someone gains your trust, they see how strong you are through how staunchly you defend your friends and your beliefs. You know when to stand your ground, but you also can diffuse tense situations with a grinning joke. Continue to defend your friends, continue to stand up for yourself when needed, and don't be afraid to make people groan with a terrible dad joke. Congrats, Talia.
Daniel Bernstein. Daniel, DB, or as your dad would prefer, Danny Boy. I had to do it once for him. It has been such a joy watching you and your hair grow over these years. You are quiet, humble, but ambitious. You set your goals and work toward achieving them, all while genuinely caring for others. You see mistakes as opportunities for growth. This year, you were my right-hand man. Your consistency and reliability were something I treasured. MLK once said that intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Goal achieved. Congratulations. Benjamin Schmeltz. You're always stuck with me, you know that. Benji, you are truly an incredible young man. Though quiet, you are a natural leader who sets the standard, a very high standard, for those around you in academic, athletic, and social settings. You take on challenges with grace and confidence and have an amazing ability to balance work, play, and life. You're not afraid to ask questions and do what it takes to grow and succeed. Babe Ruth once said, it's hard to beat a person who never gives up. Keep it up, and you'll be unbeatable. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Daniel Strick. Consistent, reliable, intelligent, ambassador. So many words I could use to describe you. Impulsive, obsessed with discussing your answers. But seriously, you are one of the most dependable students I have ever taught. You impressed me from day one when you voluntarily switched into AP Gov. You continuously seek out opportunities to better yourself, and in the end, you better everyone else around you. You're not afraid to step up when others won't and participate in class in order to ensure positive and productive environments. Don't ever lose your spirit. I'll be cheering for you along the way. Congratulations.
Ellie Gordon. It's been a pleasure and a source of pride to watch you grow. You and I have been in many classrooms and bowling alleys together, and in both places, you are a leader. You are a student who arrives each day with the necessary materials ready to work, and more importantly, with a smile on your face. For that, Ellie, my friend, the pride that this community has in your accomplishments is immense. We look forward to sharing in your future accomplishments. Matthew K. Roadblocks. I believe few people have encountered the roadblocks you have. You have failed to let that stop you, whether in the classroom or on the playing field or in the outside world. We've had the pleasure to learn together, what, 3 times? 3 different classes? Yeah. And each time I was amazed at your academic growth. Additionally, over the past few weeks, we've had the opportunity to spend a moment or 2 or 3 together. And I witnessed some changes. You have become a leader. A leader is someone who admits when they made a mistake. And you did that when you came to me and asked if you could be on the baseball team. And you are one of the people responsible for us to win a division title. A leader is someone who helps those around them achieve more. And Matthew, that is you. I look forward to hearing of your continued achievements. I'm curious to know how you will change the world, since there's little doubt that you won't. Caleb Kleinfeld. I think back to your sophomore year when you opened your backpack and the mess that ensued. I'm pretty sure I'm still cleaning my classroom for it. In comparison, when you opened your backpack the next year and in the ensuing years, I was amazed at the organization. Everything had a place. Caleb, your hard work, overcoming struggles, and becoming a top producing student, your hard work in the classroom and on the basketball court has made you a leader amongst your peers. Caleb, continue your hard work. Do not let anyone doubt what you can achieve.
Who's gamer? If I had to sum up O's gamer in one word, it would be caring. People of all ages feel that they can approach him. Many do seek his advice, as O's is wise and level-headed and doesn't get stuck in the little things. These traits will prove to be golden. Someone once said to me, O's is just perfectly average. Well, if he's average, I'd like to be average too. May God bless you and your family with only revealed good. Joel Van Loon. We all know that Joel loves his country, but there's so much more to him. Joel started at FJA as a quiet kid and now leaves as one of the faces of the senior class. He stands up for what is right, and it shows in everything he does. May God bless you, that you should continue to grow and use the talents that he gave you to make this a better world and be a continuing source of joy to your parents and those around you.
Sophie Filer. Since arriving at FJA, you've impressed me with your maturity, thoughtfulness, and independence. Being a transfer student is never easy. Your commitment to your new home at FJA was apparent as a leader on the tennis team and in Arzman Kodesh. You're a deep thinker, Sophie, and I've had the pleasure of talking to you about everything from demons in the Talmud to summer adventures and your hopes for the future. Keep being your own person, Sophie, and I can't wait to hear about your next adventures.
Rena Golnick. I taught you all 4 years. Guess now you know what it's like to win the lottery. I have seen you grow from a student that seemingly could go through an entire school day while only saying a few words, to a confident young woman that has no problems getting into any social interaction, but still using the fewest words possible. Your teachers have always depended on you, whether you've known it or not. Your work ethic is second to none at the school, and we know that this work ethic will continue to guide you to success in life. Congratulations.
Sasha Miller, Gilana. Gilana, I had the pleasure of teaching you Hebrew for 2 years in a row. You have been blessed with both inner and outer beauty. You're a sensitive and kind, smart and successful young lady. Your diligence and positive attitude to studies contribute your success in Hebrew. Anyone who could see your Hebrew handwriting will not believe that you were a beginner. You could easily compete with the handwriting of a native Israeli. Every time you pass by my classroom or when you see me in the hallway, I receive a warm and sincere greeting from you. It warmed my heart. I wish you much success, and I have no shadow of doubt that you will succeed in fulfilling all of your heart's desire for good. Mazal tov, be'atzlacha. Thank you.
Charlie Tobias. The halls of FJA will be just a little quieter without you, Charlie. Without your booming voice, without your exclamations of, Mr. Pinter! Without your big bear hugs. You are fiercely loyal to your friends, and you attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. I'm confident that in your next chapter, you'll bring that same enthusiasm and love to wherever life takes you. I know that everyone you come across will feel as lucky as I do to know you. Congratulations, Charlie.
Parents, it's my honor to help you recite a blessing from God to your children. Parents, if you could please stand in your places and cast your eyes upon your graduating child. Graduates, if you could stand in your place and look out and see if you can make eye contact with your parents. And parents, please join me in the program in the middle of page 6 for this blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God show you kindness and grant you peace.
May the class of 2022 please rise. Please move your tassels from right to left. It is my honor to present to you Franco Jewish Academy class of 2022.
Congratulations. Guests, thank you for being here and helping us celebrate, and please remain in your seats until the conclusion of the recessional.